This is TakeCompass.com, and I'm here to tell you slow down with that check. Let's say you receive a check and you don't trust it. If it's possible, your best bet is to not cash it. Arrange with the person for you to either get it through a money order, through a certified bank check, or cash, or some method besides that check, because that check is no good. It's just going to make your life miserable, because your bank is going to charge you a fee if it's no good. So if you receive a check that you don't trust and you have no other choice but to cash it, then cash it. So you cash it and you wait 3 days, correct? False. You don't wait 3 days. You wait longer than that, because the check actually takes 7 to 10 days in some cases to clear. If it's between banks, like let's say you're in Bank of America, you receive a check from Bank of America, that can clear the same day because it's their records. Or you're in Chase, you receive a check from a Chase customer, that can clear the same day because it's their computer system. They know who has the funds. It clears right away. I've actually been in banks and I've asked them about checks, and they say, okay, yeah, this is good. Or in a Commerce Bank or a TD Bank, yeah, this is good, you can cash it. But if it's in between banks, that's a different story, because the banks don't just call up each other and say, hey, Tim, it's John, I have a check here for $22.95, you know, is it any good? Okay, thanks, alright, take care. No, they don't waste time doing that. They take all these little petty checks, they put them together, and they send them up to the government, and the government investigates it. Then within 7 days or 10 days, the money comes down and it's clear. Even though the process takes 7 to 10 days, they release your funds in 3 days. Why do they do that? Just to make your life more convenient, you know, let you spend the money, to give you the benefit of the doubt. But in reality, your check is not cleared, and if that 7-day mark hits and your check is no good, they'll reverse their deposit and you'll be in trouble, especially if you spent the money, because they're going to reverse the charges. So you're going to have the negative balance. And on top of that, you get hit with a fee. So to add insult to injury, as they would say. So if you get a check you don't trust and you have to cash it, wait the full amount of time, because it can just really be a headache. That is actually a scam that people do. Maybe you've read about it or you've heard about it in the news like I have, or gotten the emails, but for some reason, this is the way the scam works. You receive a check, whatever reason it is, and then they want you to cash it in your account and then give them a portion of it. Whether they say they overpaid you or they can't cash the US check or whatever reason they give, it's in your account and you're supposed to give them some type of money. So in 3 days, you put it in, 3 days later, you say, wow, this check was good. And then the 7 days comes and it's, ooh, that check wasn't good. And chances are you spent the money and you're hit with a fee. That is a scam that happens all the time. You probably have seen the emails about some president of some country, blah, 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 big check, whatever. It's a scam. Don't fall for it. So, when you're cashing checks, be careful. Now, the other side of the coin, when you're writing checks, I'll have to admit, it does feel good to write checks. You know, you write the check, you put how much money, how much do I owe you again? Oh, yes. You write it down, you sign it all pretty, you know, whirl around your signature, you put a dot there, and you're done. Here's your check. But don't get carried away with that, because when you write a check, like I just said before, it takes days to clear. So the money will still be in your account. You still feel wealthy, you still feel rich, but the money is not actually there. So unless you can keep track of how many checks you have out in some type of system, then I recommend not writing so many checks. I do know that it's 2010 and checks aren't really written as much anymore, but in some cases you do have to, so just be careful. Now, in a case of automatic withdrawals from like a bill collector or something, or from T-Mobile or some phone company or something, be careful with those. Unless you have some type of cushion in your account, that's not recommended, because these automatic withdrawals can catch you at the wrong time. Your paycheck could be late, you could be sick and couldn't pick up your paycheck, next thing you know, everything bounces and you're in trouble. And one by one, all these places won't get paid, and worse off, you get hit with a fee, sometimes multiple overdrafts. So if you can pay your bill manually every month, go ahead. But if you have some type of cushion, then you can set up automatic payments. At least twice the amount that you'll be paying should be a good cushion. That way any overlaps or anything, or even 1.5 times what you're paying is a decent cushion. It's important to keep a cushion. Now the last thing I'm going to talk to you about is just really taking your time, because sometimes banks can even be a little bit sneaky. For example, let's say your account is empty and you deposit $500 and you buy something for $200. You did that in one day. Now the order in which they accept your purchase and accept your deposit can matter. Let's say they accepted your purchase first and then your deposit, then you overdraft because your account was empty. You just spent $200. Then they put the $500 there. Instead of accepting the $500 and then the $200 like you did, where you wouldn't overdraft, sometimes they can switch it so that you do overdraft. So you have to be careful with those. I've actually read articles where that is happening. That's why I'm warning you about it. So overall, be careful when you're cashing checks. Be careful when you're writing checks. It does feel good to sign it, you know, put the dot there, but slow down with that check. Thanks. Take care.